All right, let's jump right in. When I say the words dietary fiber, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, right, it's a pretty straightforward story about, well, keeping things moving. But what we're going to talk about today is how a massive scientific revolution is completely tearing up that old script. Turns out fiber is way, way more sophisticated than we ever gave it credit for. For decades, this quote right here, this was pretty much the entire story. This was the roughage hypothesis from back in the 70s and basically framed fiber as nothing more than inert filler. You know, the stuff that just passes through your system, kind of cleaning out the pipes along the way. Useful, for sure, but let's be honest, kind of boring. But this is the question that changes absolutely everything. What if fiber isn't just some passive passenger on a trip through your gut? What if it's actually an active commander, sending out complex signals that orchestrate your health in ways we are only just now beginning to understand? It's a total game changer. And look, this isn't just a new pet theory. This is a new reality, and it's being revealed by some incredibly powerful new tools. We're talking about things like high-resolution genetic sequencing that lets us map our gut microbiome in stunning detail, plus these huge studies like the UK Biobank. We've officially moved way beyond the old simple mechanical model and into a brand new era. Now, what's really fascinating about this slide is just how stark the difference is. This is the core shift in thinking. We've gone from seeing fiber as just inert roughage to understanding it as an active biochemical regulator. It's not about mechanical bulk anymore. It's about orchestrating your entire metabolism. And it's not just about speeding things along. It's about regulating this critical communication line between your gut and your heart. It's a whole new ballgame. So how in the world does it do all of this? Well, this new science has uncovered what you can think of as fiber's four hidden powers. These are the key mechanisms that were totally invisible to us under that old roughage model. So let's break them down, one by one. Okay, first up, chemical diversity. You see, fiber isn't just one thing. It's a huge, diverse family of complex carbohydrates that you find in plants. Now think of your gut microbiome as this highly specialized team of workers. You've got some microbes that are total pros at breaking down the fiber from oats, while another group specializes in the fiber from, say, chickpeas. And this process, where our microbes chow down on the fiber, is called fermentation. And that fermentation process leads us directly to power number two. Because when those microbes ferment fiber, they don't just get rid of it. They actually produce these incredibly powerful byproducts. The scientific name for them is short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs for short. And this, right here, is where the real magic starts to happen. This simple four-step process is actually a fundamental communication pathway inside your body. It's brilliant. You eat a bunch of different plants. Your specialist gut microbes get to work fermenting all those different fibers. They create these SCFAs, and then, and this is the crucial part, those SCFAs act as messenger molecules, carrying vital instructions from your gut out to the rest of your body, influencing everything from inflammation to your metabolism. So let's zoom in on a real star player here, an SCFA called butyrate. Now, butyrate is literally the primary fuel source for the cells that line your colon, but it does more than that. You can think of it as a dedicated repair crew for your gut barrier, physically tightening the junctions between your cells. This strengthens your gut wall, turning it into a fortress that helps prevent harmful stuff from leaking out into your bloodstream. And this brings us right to the third power. You see, these messenger molecules, they don't just hang out in the gut. Nope, they travel all throughout your body, and they directly influence your systemic health, especially the health of your heart and your metabolism. Here is a perfect example of that in action. Certain types of soluble fiber, like the kind you find in oats or apples, act like a sponge. They soak up bile acids in your gut. Your body then says, hey, I need more bile, and to make it, it has to pull LDL, that's the bad cholesterol, out of your bloodstream. And as you can see from the data, the effect is real. Just 5 to 10 grams of soluble fiber a day can lower that bad LDL cholesterol by a solid 5 to 10%. The fourth and final power is really the ultimate proof. This isn't just theory or something that only happens in a lab. We see all of this confirmed in the real world through massive clinical trials studying the diets of thousands and thousands of people. And they all show the same thing. People who eat more diverse fiber have dramatically better health outcomes. This is where the science truly meets the plate. Now, when you put these four powers together, they don't just act separately. They create this incredible unified system, a biological superhighway. The diverse fiber on your plate feeds your gut microbes. Those microbes then produce messenger molecules that strengthen your gut, lower inflammation, and literally fine-tune your cardiovascular system. It is a direct and powerful connection from what you eat to how your heart beats. So the obvious question is, what's the best way to tap into this system? Can you just, pop a fiber supplement and call it a day? Well, the science is pointing to a much smarter approach. It turns out how you get your fiber might be just as important as how much you get. Think about it. A supplement usually gives you just one isolated type of fiber. But whole plant foods, like you see in a Mediterranean-style diet, they provide this huge diversity of fiber types. Plus, they come naturally packaged with all these other amazing compounds, like polyphenols. And what huge studies like the Predamed Trail show is that this combination creates a synergy. It's like a whole symphony of benefits that one single isolated supplement just can't replicate. So really, the big takeaway here is to eat a wide variety of plant foods. The dietary patterns that show the most profound benefits typically include around 30 to 40 grams of fiber per day, coming from a mix of sources just like these. It's all about feeding your entire team of microbial specialists, not just hiring one for a single job. Ultimately, all of this leads to a really profound shift in how we should think about the food we eat. The era of seeing plant foods as just a source of passive roughage is officially over. We need to start seeing them for what they really are, powerful, active regulators of our own biology. What's on your plate isn't just fuel, it's a set of instructions for your entire body. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought to ponder. For millennia, humans co-evolved alongside plants and the microbes that help us digest them. So as we face these modern epidemics of heart disease and metabolic issues, could it be that the key to our future health is actually hidden by restoring this ancient symbiotic relationship? It's a pretty powerful idea to chew on.